straight ahead on CCX News.
My hope would let them get that same feeling I did.
A new clubhouse at St. Mary's, made possible by a Plymouth man. Plus, a project starting this spring that aims to make a big difference for people in need. But first, another grim reminder for pedestrians crossing a street.
But it only takes that one time with that one car that you don't see, and it's over.
CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. Authorities have now identified a pedestrian killed while trying to cross a busy highway in Brooklyn Park. 35-year-old Patrick Mack of Minneapolis was hit by a driver heading northbound on Highway 252 near Brookdale Drive. The accident occurred shortly after 5:30 Monday night. Investigators with the State Patrol say Mack crossed where there was a "Do Not Cross" sign. The incident forced authorities to close the northbound lanes of the highway for more than 2 hours Monday night. Police say it serves as another grim reminder to be careful when crossing the street.
Unfortunately, we've seen 3 fatalities in the recent past here in Brooklyn Park, and it's just a great reminder that even if you are in a crosswalk or at an intersection, you always have to be aware of vehicles. Do they see you? Are they going to stop? And really be cautious.
Those deadly incidents serve as a tragic lesson to take using crosswalks seriously. Eric Nelson has more.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of intersections on that highway, and it is a 4-lane highway with high speeds and high traffic volume. So it is a concern for us when we have pedestrians trying to go across that roadway.
Just one day after another pedestrian tragedy in the Brooklands, a MnDOT worker tried to piece together the devastating scene. The facts are still coming in, but we do know this. Crossing major roads like 252 is extremely risky, and pedestrians need to pay close attention.
Drivers are distracted more than ever before, and they're traveling extremely fast. You really got to pay attention when we cross these roads.
Unfortunately, there's a history of tragedy on State Highway 252. This bridge I'm standing on right now was built because of a very unfortunate incident. In 1999, 11-year-old Kara Kavanaugh died after being struck by a car at 252 and 85th Avenue. To prevent further tragedies, a pedestrian bridge was built over the road.
I remember it pretty vividly. I was actually one of the first officers there when I was working patrol and responding to that. And another very tragic incident, and unfortunately we've seen it just too many times here recently.
Law enforcement encourages everyone to wait for a green light and a walk signal before crossing any highway. Traffic speeds can be deceptive.
You never know quite how fast a car is coming at you when it's speeding at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour.
It goes without saying that pedestrians should always use a crosswalk.
Jaywalking is a huge problem.
Which is much safer than darting across a highway just to save a couple minutes.
Take the time, take the minute. It's no more than a minute to cross a busy road at the proper place.
Another tip is to wear bright or visible colors. Elisha Capruto often jogs near 252 in Brooklyn Park and dresses to be seen.
Yeah, when I run here, I have to take care of my family too, because that's why I wear the blue.
In Brooklyn Park, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
Officials from the Brooklyn Center and Brooklyn Park Police Departments both believe that when the lights are removed from Highway 252, things will be much safer for pedestrians. Apartment tenants in Plymouth were on alert this morning. They noticed suspicious activity and called 911. It turns out several people were breaking into vehicles outside the Access Apartments on Nathan Lane. Police tracked down the getaway vehicle that turned out to be stolen. Police arrested 3 men and a 17-year-old boy. The adult suspects, one from Minneapolis, another from St. Paul, and a third from Rochester, have prior convictions for similar crimes. A Brooklyn Center business owner is accusing the city and its police department of unfair treatment. The owner of Jammin Wings sports bar made the accusation this week at a hearing for a failed underage alcohol compliance check.
There seems to be a stigma against me and Jammin Wings. Because when the police department come, if we call 911, when the police department come, it's more not of trying to work things out with us. It's more of an harassment base, in my opinion.
Last year, the city changed its liquor ordinance, moving up last call from 2 a.m. to 1 a.m. Jammin Wings owner Wayne Brown says his business was the only one affected. He wants the city to change it back to 2 a.m. Meanwhile, the owner doesn't dispute the failed compliance check. He says it's the first time his business has been caught serving alcohol to a minor in his 5.5 years of doing business. Minnesota's second largest food bank is one step closer to moving its headquarters from Maplewood to Brooklyn Park. Last spring, the Minnesota legislature awarded Second Harvest Heartland with $18 million in bonding money to move into a new facility along Winnetka Avenue. Second Harvest had asked Brooklyn Park to act as the fiscal agent for the state money, and Monday night, the city council made that official, paving the way for construction to begin in April.
So we couldn't be more appreciative of this opportunity to partner with the City of Brooklyn Park, move our headquarters here, our almost 200 employees. We have 40,000 individual volunteers on an annual basis, and we have, as a board, fully supported this project.
Second Harvest expects construction to be complete by March of 2020. When the building opens, it will also house a SEEP food shelf. A man from Plymouth will have a lasting impact on the baseball program at St. Mary's University of Minnesota. Reporter Shannon Sladden explains why.
The first steps inside a new clubhouse, and that wow from former baseball player Mark Weisenberger is a reaction that echoes.
Tough for me to get in the room. I think I was getting run over by all of them.
Mark led the way with the lead donation for a new $700,000 clubhouse for St. Mary's Cardinals baseball, funded entirely by alumni.
I mean, this is incredible. We're not going to have, I don't think any other team in the MIAC can really compete with this.
That's part of the idea. In a recruiting age where facilities do matter, former players like Mark are shaping the future of St. Mary's baseball.
To put a stake in the ground to see if we couldn't do something that would cause potential student athletes to look at the university a little bit differently.
Mark came to St. Mary's in the fall of 1971 for a simple reason. He wanted to play.
I played baseball in high school, and Max decided to give me a chance to play. So I came with the opportunity that I would get a chance to catch.
Legendary St. Mary's coach Max Moloch was a big influence in Mark's life.
To me, Max was not just about the game of baseball. He was about life.
The coach taught fundamentals, cultivated a work ethic, and required nicknames.
Even today, when I see my classmates, they still call me Pudge.
Mark's nickname now will have a permanent place in this clubhouse called Pudge's Place.
My hope would let them get that same feeling I did when I walked through the clubhouse door.
A place Mark Weisenberger hopes can inspire others to lead too.
A sense of belonging, a sense of teammate, a sense of spirit, a sense of history, because this also represents what St. Mary's baseball is about.
Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Right? If it brings hits, why wouldn't you keep it?
Out of the 46 lockers in Pudge's Place, 39 have been sponsored by St. Mary's athletes. The first home game of the regular season is March 22nd. Still ahead, the high school in Brooklyn Park, where you can earn a diploma and an advanced degree without leaving the campus. Plus, the Maranatha Christian Academy boys basketball team is putting it all together in a strong season this winter. But first, returning to average. January-like weather is back on. Character, Christianity, community, and curriculum. Those 4 C's are the driving force behind Maranatha Christian Academy. In today's School Spotlight, reporter Sonia Goen shows us what the school is doing to help students discover their individual talents.
What would you guys choose for letters?
More than 700 students attend Maranatha Christian Academy. The kindergarten through 12th grade school prides itself on educational excellence.
98% of our students go on to 4-year institutions. 100% of our students graduate 100% of the time.
All right, how's it going, Ian?
You'll find a diverse community in classrooms.
This year we have 42% students of color on campus.
Maranatha is the only school in Minnesota to offer students the opportunity to get a high school diploma and an Associates of Arts degree at the same time without ever having to leave the building.
I'm super excited. I think it's an awesome opportunity to not only test the waters of college, but also have the opportunity to just get it done.
So it is just a normal writing tool.
Entrepreneurship is also part of the curriculum. Students Ashley Yanes and Ziggy Zhao recently took part in a regional Shark Tank competition where they had to come up with an idea and present it to business leaders.
This is my first experience working with business companies, business partners, and these are entrepreneurs, and they know what they're doing.
And I realized that creating a business somehow is really difficult. There's a lot of things that you have to focus on.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
And meanwhile, kindergartens through 5th graders have a new high-tech library and STEM center.
If you're happy.
Students can read, check out books, and play games. The young minds are also learning code and engineering skills to build robots. And there's something not listed on the curriculum, but very important: compassion and community. This is the 6th year students participated in the Meals for Minneapolis event. Students raised money to buy food, then students assemble meals for local food shelves. Over the years, they've packed 133,000 meals.
That speaks volumes about the character, the maturity, the quality, the caliber of our students.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Still ahead, something different to kick off a Plymouth City Council meeting. But first, after a slow start, the Maple Grove girls basketball team is coming on strong. John Jacobson is in next.
We have a lot of great boys basketball teams in the northwest suburbs spread throughout the 4 classes. The Maranatha boys basketball team is 11-1 and ranked 8th in the state in Class 2A. Here's Jason Melillo with more on the Mustangs.
Maranatha Christian had a lot of good pieces to start the season, but over the course of 12 games, the Mustangs have put the puzzle together.
It just all came through practice, and the coaches just constantly telling us, like, the only way it's going to work is us buying in as a group, as a team, and the more we got to play each other and saw each other's strengths, it just let us know, like, what we can do.
We started off with a rough loss at Holy Family. I think we lost by 10 points, but after then, I think we won 9 in a row. I think it's a really big thing is how everyone buys into the team, and there's less individual on this team. There's like no superstars really on this team. Everyone's playing for the team and they just want to win.
For MCA, it all starts with aggressive defense. In 9 of their games this season, the Mustangs have held opponents to 49 points or less.
Definitely defense is our strength. Definitely think like averaging 49 points for opponents. It's the main focus for us in practice.
Maranatha's D triggers a fast, athletic offense that spreads the scoring around and attacks with a variety of weapons.
We're definitely, I feel like, one of the most athletic teams in the state. We run 10 deep, and I can play all 10 in any given night, which is our advantage this season.
That's really probably one of the main things that helps us win is how we wear other teams down. A lot of teams run 6 or 7, and I think us being able to run 10 guys, and like most of them can handle the ball as well, is huge for our team.
The Mustangs will play a big game on Tuesday night when they host 6th-ranked St. Croix Prep. Jason Melillo, CCX Sports.
That game against St. Croix Prep starts at 7:30 Tuesday at the Maranatha Gym. In girls basketball, Maple Grove is coming on strong. As Jay Wilcox reports, a young team is growing up fast.
After reaching the state tournament last season and winning 25 games, an 0-2 start could have been cause for concern for the Maple Grove girls basketball team. But they didn't panic.
I think St. Michael's a very good team, so that was not as much of a shock, but we definitely want to get them later this year. But I think we knew where we were, we knew the talent level that we had, and it wasn't that big of a shock. We knew who we were, and we knew what we could accomplish. So
that faith in the team has paid off. A young team built around returning regulars Abby Schulte and Jordan Lampker has now won 10 of its past 11 games and 6 straight heading into Tuesday night's game against Blaine. The confidence has grown.
Yeah, it's been really fun, like getting wins as well as, like improving as a team and like just growing and getting better every day in every game. And you can see like our work in practice correlating to the things that we're doing in the game, so it's really fun.
Last year we were very fortunate. We had some just God-given athletes, just some stud athletic kids, and
and we knew we weren't going to come in this year and kind of out-athlete people. We were going to have to really know what we were doing and come into games well prepared, and these girls have really bought into that idea, which has been a lot of fun.
But I can definitely see their confidence growing as they get more varsity time and as they have good games, and in their slumps they have their head up a little bit higher, and they're just finding their place on our team, and it's amazing to see.
Wednesday night on CCX, the Crimson will get a tough test as they face second-ranked Wayzata.
I'm just looking forward to seeing how we compete with a really good team like Wayzata. They're really tall and long, and just seeing how we match up and using our strengths to match their strengths and just see what happens.
What a great opportunity for us, halfway through the season to go play the #2 team in the state who's undefeated and is really, really good. Mike does such a great job. There's few coaches in the state that I respect more than Mike, and they're a hard matchup for anybody, but what a great opportunity for our kids to be able to go in and compete against a top team.
No matter the outcome of that game at Wayzata, the Crimson say they'll learn and get better from it. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Maple Grove hosts Blaine Tuesday night, and as Jay mentioned, their Wednesday game at Wayzata can be seen live here on CCX. That's all for sports. Delane, back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Up next, she has belted out the national anthem in stadiums across the Twin Cities. But now she goes to the Plymouth City Council. That story when we come back. A Plymouth resident who has sung the national anthem more than 300 times at stadiums all across the country now has another venue to add to her resume, the Plymouth City Council chambers.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed?
Stephanie Verone sang the national anthem at the start of last week's Plymouth City Council meeting. It was the first meeting for new mayor Jeff Washy, who asked her to sing the song after seeing a story we did about Stephanie singing the national anthem at a Timberwolves game. Well, that is all the news for now. Thanks for joining us. We will leave you with one more song from Stephanie Verone. It's her rendition of God Bless America with a special shout out to Plymouth. Enjoy.
God bless Plymouth, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light up above. From the loose line to the Greenway to Medicine Lake, white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. Oh, God bless America, my home sweet home.